So I did mention that this year I was going to talk some more about the TV shows that I watch. So here we are with the first episode, I guess ironically enough, of monthly media, I guess, TV shows, if that's the title I end up going with. So let's pretend my extra ass didn't just wear a black hoodie because Mr. Robot was the first show to talk about, but I absolutely just wore a black hoodie because Mr. Robot is the first show I'm going to talk about. So yeah, Mr. Robot is a TV show created by Sam Esmail. I watched the first 2 seasons throughout January, and I guess I started off in December to begin with, maybe. But I was very much obsessed with these 2 seasons for most of this month, to be quite honest. So yeah, this stars Rami Malek as our protagonist, Elliot Anderson, who is a mentally ill hacker, and that's sort of the premise. He has a vendetta against, society, capitalism, the patriarchy, much like the rest of us. He has a very hard time dealing with people. He has a very hard time dealing with himself and his own mind. And it's such a good show. I did start watching it first a few years back, maybe. My friend Abby, she's obsessed with this show, and she has been for quite a hot minute. So I did give it a shot a while ago and then just dropped it because it's one of those very heavy shows, it's like an adult show, and I'm very much still not an adult regardless of what my ID card says. But she did post this one scene on Twitter that was just so powerful. It's so beautifully written, it's so beautifully produced, it's so artfully acted out. I was like, you know what, I'm going to pick up where I left off and just have a good time. I still don't actually care about the plot. It's very much about taking down evil corporations and like hacking and stuff, and I'm like, yeah, okay, cool. But the characters, though, the characters are very, very much, in my humble opinion, where it's at. They're so messy, they're so flawed, they're so realistic, they're so compelling to follow, and they're the reason why I carried on, because I got so invested in the writing itself. It's just so good. It's so powerful. It's so profound. And then there is that mix about the great delivery of the lines and how well written they are that makes it just so powerful. I will be just watching, and then out of nowhere, Rami would have this one monologue, and I would feel the need to pause because it's so good. It's so powerful. It's so moving. There's a lot about, mental health and dealing with that, about religion, about the patriarchy, capitalism, the world, society, being unable to deal with all of that. And it hits you where it has to, and it's so good. It's so good. I really need to watch season 3 because Abby says that is the best one yet, but season 2 was up there, mostly because the one character that annoys me the absolute most wasn't there to ruin my good time. But also it was a lot more character driven. And we have this one female character, bless her heart. Her name is Angela Moss. She's portrayed by Portia Doubleday. Such a talented lady. But Angela as a character is so compelling because she's very much a Slytherin, alright? She is very driven. She's very ambitious. She's very assertive. She is sure in her own power and who she is and what she can do, and I find that so admiring. But there's something very human about her. You still see her go from being so, poised and taking no shit whatsoever from gross, crusty old men, which I'm so here for her putting them down. But you see her go from that to breaking down and then listening to, self-improvement podcasts or apps or whatever. You see her doubting, you see her breaking down, you see her having all these highs and lows, and you see her relationship or whatever dynamic with Elliot develop, because they've known each other since they were kids. And obviously that's had some rough patches because the dynamic switches and changes, and it's so good. It's such a good show. The cinematography of it is wonderful. So I'd say if you're intimidated by the plot, feel free to just throw it out the window. It's a good plot. It's a very well written show. I need to say that again. But the plot isn't where it's at, if you ask me personally, and it's definitely worth giving it a proper shot for more than that. And then my sister and I really wanted something to watch just while we have our food, just, to help the time pass. So we started watching Casey Undercover, created by Corinne Marshall. This is a Disney Channel show because I am an actual child. It stars the love of my life, Zendaya. It's pretty much a Kim Possible-esque show with a teenage spy. Her parents are spies. There's, this family of people of color just saving the world and shit, and also being a family, and there's her dealing with the whole teenager life thing and balancing that out with being a spy, and it's so fucking funny, and Zendaya is a absolute goddess. I would die for her. And that's all I'm saying. I think we're 3/4 to season 1. We're taking it very slow because, as I said, it's just while we eat or when we're bored. But it's a really, really, really good time. And then my sister kept insisting that I finally give a shot to the Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt. That's a Netflix original. She first started watching it back in the day when season 1 dropped. I think literally that day. And she's been talking about it. I was low-key peeking at it because I know that Ki Hong Lee was in it for a bit, because I really liked him from The Maze Runner, because I'm trash, okay? So it seemed funny enough, but I was never quite compelled. But she did low-key force me and bully me into watching it. Now, we watched the first half a season, and it's funny. It was created by Tina Fey, who's a goddess of comedy, and Robert Carlock. And I'm enjoying it enough. It's funny. It's about this lady, Kimmy Schmidt, as you can tell, who was kept in a bunker but by a crazy cult leader. And now, after years spent down there, she's trying to readjust the real world to the real world, and she decided to do that in New York City. And it's very funny. It's very compelling to watch. It's very heartfelt. I'm very invested in Kimmy's life, okay? I just want to see her be happy, but I did find a article about it because I was not into it, so I will link that down below. But there's this one episode, and it's one of the last ones that I watched, where Kimmy's boss has this whole plot and story arc and all of that about her being Native American in her past. And the actress is very much white as a jar of mayonnaise. And I'm weirded out by that. I don't think they're going to further address it, except for that one episode. I don't think Netflix has addressed the actual episode. It's just leaving a very sour taste in my mouth, especially because I don't think it was done very respectfully. And I don't know. I will link that article down below because I think it's more poignant than anything that I could say. And then my fave. I love it. America's Next Top Model is back with my girl Tyra. I love Tyra Banks. I would die for Tyra Banks. I adore Tyra Banks. I think she's the smartest, prettiest, just the greatest. I love Tyra Banks. Okay, I'm very passionate about that. And I actually really, really love America's Next Top Model. And I think that they're trying to do something good for the industry because they have a lot of boundaries that they're breaking this season as well, with age and size, and it's so good, and I love it so much. And I think Tyra is a doll. I really like the entire cast of judges. I thought last season was a little bit rough because they didn't have Tyra, but now she's back. It's so good, so good. And then speaking of TV shows that came back and just stole my heart all over again, Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is back with season 5B. It's so good, y'all. It's so good. I think it was created by Joss Whedon, sadly for us all. And the first 2 seasons are rough. I will give you that, which is ironic because that's when Marvel paid them the most attention. But I would say season 3 onward it's so good. It's literally one of my favorite shows, and it has been for a while. So good. I love it so much. I'm so invested in these characters, and it's one of the few TV shows that is action-packed, but it has a centric cast of women, and not only women, but women of color. It stars, some white people like Clark Gregg, who you've seen in all the Marvel movies as Agent Coulson, and then it has Elizabeth Henstridge and Ian. I will never pronounce his name, but there it is. That's Ian. He's fabulous. But it also has the loves of my life, Chloe Bennett. She is the actual star of the show. I love her, and I love her character so much. I don't want to give you her name because, it changes throughout the season. She's a Gay Wayland of TV shows. But I love her, and I think she's absolutely fabulous. I love her on and off screen. She's an advocate of Asian Americans in Hollywood and trying to make better work conditions for them, and it's just fabulous. It has Ming-Na Wen, who's fucking Mulan. Mulan is in this TV show, and one of the best things about the season is that they made Natalia Cordova Buckley a series regular, so we have this kick-ass Latina superhero. It's so good. It's so good. It came a long way. I still think it's a little bit rough, maybe with the special effects and stuff occasionally, because Marvel really likes to forget Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. exist. But the past half a season was very heavy, and then this season took it back to the humor and the light takes on serious topics. And I think it's so witty, it's so funny, and it's so good. It's so good. I'm very invested, and I would highly recommend it. Partly if you like superheroes, partly if you just want a TV show with diversity included seamlessly in it, and mostly if you just want to see characters that are complex, of diverse backgrounds, and women kicking ass but also being soft and complex, and there's that balance, and it's beautiful. And then the Fosters also came back with season 5B. I think this is their last season, sadly, but they do have this spin-off arranged. Whatever. This is created by Peter Page and Brad Berdewick, but that's how you maybe pronounce it. It started off following these kids in foster care, but came a long way from there, and it's literally the most diverse and the most socially aware and the most woke TV show on there. It delves into so many serious topics. And then what really truly profoundly got me this half season is that they're talking about DACA. We have this one character who was in the States with DACA, but it expired, and her family is kind of maybe being deported, and there's a lot happening. My heart couldn't take it. I was sobbing throughout that first episode back. It's so good. It's so good, so diverse, so woke. It's the TV show liberals want, and it's so good. It's so beautiful, and I don't understand why it doesn't get, first of all, the promo it deserves, because I'm side-eyeing ABC very seriously, and then the recognition from the public, because it is the TV show we very much need and desire. I'm looking forward to some more stuff that I'm going to watch in February, and I will most definitely keep you posted. Let me know if you watch any of these, and also what your TV show that you watched this month was, be it something you're keeping up with regularly or something you just, started off. And yeah, I'll see you later. Thanks so much for watching.